Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, sit back, relax, buckle in. We have a jam-packed show for you guys. We got 2 games in the NFL, and we have a game in the MLB. We have 2 games. We don't have a line for the second game because we'll talk about it.
I have a game for the line for the second game. We're not going to talk about it because we'll discuss the line.
Yeah, I see lines for it. But when you go on the actual sports books, none of them have a game 2 line. None do. Because I wanted to know what a game 1 game, like I wanted to know what a non-correlated or kind of correlated parlay would be. Yeah. If you take one team game 1 and the other one game 2, and you do that for both combinations. Because we'll get into that though. Which probably just means you just bet the Mets both games if you wanted to do it that way, but I don't like that way. So we'll see. Even though probably if Atlanta wins game 1, the Mets are probably the favorite for game 2, right?
I could imagine. They're plus 150 right now on game 2.
Yeah, I don't see any lines for that. But we'll get into all that.
Because all of a sudden, we'll talk about it later, but if the Braves win game 1, it goes from Chris Sale pitching to Jesse Chavez in the bullpen game.
Yeah, it'll go.
With no high leverage arms.
Which is just a smidge different. Just a smidge. Because obviously Chris Sale would be pitching game 1 in San Diego tomorrow. Which if you're the Mets, I mean,
don't sweep.
Do you want to go to no, you don't want to travel all the way to California from Atlanta on no days rest. So yeah. But we'll get into all of that. We'll first recap yesterday. I should have stayed off of baseball because my baseball record is now slightly below the 40-unit mark, but I made one bet for today, and if that bet wins, I'll be over the 40-unit mark for the year for baseball for the regular season, which I don't know how I'm going to approach betting it yet. If I'm going to bet game 2 or not, we'll see. And I'll recap my full, and then after all the games today, I will recap my full 2024 MLB thing, breaking down my final numbers, my month by month numbers. And then it'll all be a thread on Twitter for me. My overall numbers, my month-by-month numbers, and then money lines, and then separate the money lines between dogs and favorites, first 5 full games. I'm going to do a full-on breakdown of where I went right and where I went wrong in baseball this year to really dive in and maybe focus in on those specific spots more next year and learn from what we did this year as well, from this successful season. Because win or lose on this last play, I have had a successful season. I'm up 38 and change right now, so we'll do that. But baseball yesterday went 4-5, down 1.54 units for me. I had a ton of unders is kind of the way I was doing it. Tampa Bay, Boston under 8.5 was a winner. Philly, Washington under 8 was a loser. New York, Pittsburgh under 8 was a loser. St. Louis, San Fran, under 7.5 was a winner. Arizona, San Diego, under 8.5, loser. Oakland, Seattle, under 7, loser. Rockies' money line was a frustrating loser. They were up 1-0 heading into the 8th inning where they gave up 2 runs. But the under 11.5 was a winner there. That was rather easy. And then we went to extra innings on the last one there. But Cincinnati and Chicago, under 7 was a winner there. NFL was really strong yesterday. Overall, I finished, what was it? Let me get my Twitter real quick so I can have the exact number. 5-3. 6-3, up 2.60 units in the NFL yesterday. Started poorly with the Green Bay Packers minus 2.5. That was dead before the game really even started, it felt like. Jacksonville +6. They should have won outright. That really pissed me off. They didn't win outright. I didn't have a money line bet on it, but damn it, I wanted Houston to lose. because I had their under wins. I have them to miss the playoffs, and that would have been a really nice loss for them against a Jacksonville team that's now 0-4. Shout out to Hung Wei Koo. Is that what his name is? The kicker for the Atlanta Falcons drills a 58-yarder to end the game for the Falcon money line, which helps my under 7.5 for New Orleans. Now, all of a sudden, the unstoppable New Orleans Saints have lost back-to-back football games. And I think they lose a third straight in a row next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll get into that next week, though. Bears, -3. How were we laying points with the Bears? Yeah, because the Rams were in a terrible spot with a lot of injuries. And that Bears offense put up 24 points yesterday. So that was nice to see. Tampa Bay blows out the Eagles 33-16 as I continue to dominate Eagles games, +1.5 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm out 4-0 on Eagles games now, betting sides with Eagles. Carolina +4.5. They had an opportunity for a backdoor cover late. Lost that one. The Jets -8 was a loser as well. I had one play in the 4 o'clock window, which was the 49ers -10. I don't like laying double digits. I don't do it very often. When I do, it's for a reason. And they win that game 30-13. And then it capped off with the Baltimore Ravens -2.5. A easy winner on that one there. Who else got fooled by the Buffalo Bills as plus money underdogs? It sure as hell wasn't me. So overall, a nice profitable day. And another profitable week in the NFL, pending the 2 plays tonight, though. So I think if I lose both plays, it won't be a profitable week in the NFL, or be very close to even, because I'm up 2.6 in the NFL this, or 2.4 in the NFL this week with 2.3 units. And okay, so it's a guaranteed profitable week in the NFL, but how much is the question?
Yeah. Can I go off of last 30 instead of last 60? It's a lot more fun that way. Last 30 days, I'm up 14.43 units now on CapperTek. So really digging myself out of that hole. It's starting to look a lot better. I started off yesterday with the Bears -3, winner on that one. Jets and Eagles were ugly. Not fun there. How about the Bengals getting their first win of the year? I had them -4.5. Washington Nationals didn't get their San Diego Padres. Thanks for nothing. If the Padres would have won yesterday, we wouldn't have had to worry about the doubleheader.
If the Mets could have won one of the first 2 games in Milwaukee, we wouldn't be worrying about it right now.
That too, but I was just talking about yesterday. Mets money line was a winner. Baltimore finishes off the Baltimore backing of the regular season with a sweep on the Minnesota Twins. And they're starting to look good. Their offense is getting going. I know it's against a team that got eliminated, but they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum going into the postseason, so we'll see. Braves run line, useless. I was actually rooting for the Braves yesterday. I was. And the main reason why is if they would have won yesterday, they wouldn't have cared about today. Then we could have made the agreement with the Braves. Hey, Braves, let us win game 1, then we can go on our merry ways. And then instead they lost, so we have to play 2 games today. The under
and the Royals get the Orioles in the first round instead of the Astros.
Yeah. The under in the Patriots game, I had under 41. I guess there was a field goal kicked late. Put it at 43. Not fun. Oh yeah, I did bet Arizona yesterday. That wasn't fun. How about the Raiders? Nice winner with the Raiders. And my biggest bet of the day, put 3 units on it. The Baltimore Ravens. Big winner there. Very happy with that. But that's it ends up being a good week. I know it's a guaranteed profitable week in the NFL. I have 2 plays as well today. Let's see how it goes.
There you go.
To the chat. I think it's safe to say both Mets and Braves make wild card. Whoever wins game 1 will rest everyone and use the least needed arms. I would want to say you're correct. But I know that nothing's guaranteed, especially when you're talking about the New York Mets. So, Skull. I don't understand this team. Are we living in an alternative universe? I don't understand how that team is 4-0. Sam Darnold and MVP. No, this isn't the real world.
Some voodoo magic. I don't understand it either.
So
nothing bad ever happens to this football team. Apparently,
we're all grabbing the Vikings next week, right? Like pretty easily.
I need to cap that game. If you think about it, though, what's better to kill some momentum than having to travel across seas?
Oh, Vikings are favorited now in that game, so that makes sense. Yeah, Vikings should be easy money next week,
right?
Nope. The Jets were favorited for a while.
Here's the thing, though, is I think this is the first time the Minnesota Vikings are going to be favored in a game.
The Bills are frauds, or hear me out. The Ravens are a good team. They just got off to a slow start.
I watched that full Ravens game last night. That 87-yard run for Derrick Henry to start the game was all they really needed. Because one thing I noticed is after that big run, the Buffalo Bills bit on every single play action that they ran. Every one.
Yep. I think you're a little laggy, or I'm a little laggy, but Mets sweep.
I'm gonna exit and come back.
I don't think either. Okay, I don't think either team sweeps, Robert. I'm sorry for your Diamondbacks. That Vikings money line was never in doubt. I hit every game except the Chargers and Steelers. Hit every baseball game except for the Rockies. Big day. There you go. D-backs plus 4,000 World Series ticket needs a sweep. You're probably not going to get one today. Or at least I hope you don't. Because most likely if there's a sweep, then it's not going the right direction. D-backs are dead. I got Minnesota Vikings plus 7,500. Super Bowl. I think you should ease up. Carolina Hurricanes plus 1,250 Stanley Cup. Nothing wrong with someone rooting for their own teams.
I view the Carolina Hurricanes as the Buffalo Bills of hockey. They will give you good regular seasons all the time, but they won't do anything when the moment turns the brightest, and they will continue to lose to better teams in the playoffs. I would not play the Hurricanes there. I made that mistake about 4 years ago, and I have not done it since.
I am on Mets game 1. I think Bach is a terrible decision, although he has good numbers versus Mets. And the Mets just saw him.
I do think that's an interesting decision for them to go back to Spencer Schwellenbach.
Detroit Tigers plus 150 series winner versus Astros. If there's a dog in the AL, I would lean dogs. I would lean the dog in that series over the other series. Hurricanes should be plus 40,000. No chance they win.
I would rather put a bet on the Hurricanes to miss the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup. I think they're closer to that than they are to the Cup, personally.
Okay. Tigers gonna blow out Houston. Houston without Dusty won't win. Good.
I just know it, Tim. Everybody's gonna watch this Detroit Tigers run at the end of the year and watch them make the playoffs the way they did. And they are going to be, I think once all 4 series are settled, the Tigers are going to be the trendy underdog of the 4.
I would have to agree. But at the same time, I think they would probably be the most live underdog out of the 4.
I think Atlanta and San Diego would be very live, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you got to think Atlanta traveling, no days rest, across the country. They're whoever has to play them is most likely starting down 1-0.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Maybe. And here's the thing, though. All right. Let's just say you're the Braves. You win game 1. All right, Chris Sale. We'll see you in San Diego tomorrow. Go ahead. Go in front of the team. We'll play the second game here. You go rest up and be ready to go.
That's just the pitcher. You need offense too.
But still, Chris Sale can win you a game by himself.
Fair enough. Lamar looked like Lamar last night.
Yeah, his offensive looked good. The offensive line looked good. They
Which
put on
is
every single play action.
I have Lamar in my my $100 fantasy league.
And Justice Hill looked phenomenal last night.
Yes. What's good though, young goats, ESP and chat? Let's get some winners and caps. Let's do it. Baltimore is starting to get hot again. I think they could take down the Royals. I think they take down.
Yeah. My initial thought was, wow, that line looked way too wide on the Baltimore Orioles to win the series. The more and more I look at it, though, I kind of agree with it, though. The only thing that I really pump the brakes on, though, is Zach Eflin. Corbin Burns and Zach Eflin could win you a series in 2 games.
Yeah, I think so.
Who pitches game 3? Because you're going up against Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo the first 2 games. And then you get Brady Singer for game
Lugo
3.
on short rest. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, still.
I know. We'll see. We'll talk about them tomorrow.
Yes, we
I'm on Seahawks and Miami.
I'm on one of those.
I'm on a total in the Miami game. I'm on the opposite side in the Seahawks game. Waddle first to score. Good morning, guys. My Commanders and Ravens saved me yesterday. Nice. There you go. Why y'all hating on Minnesota? I just don't think they're that great of a team. But we'll see. I want to see what the rest of it. They're balling. I understand they're doing good right now. I just want to see. It's the Braves as a Mega Max. I love it.
Oh, this is things you love to see.
Me and the Twins like the complete opposite teams. It's funny. It's fine. It's okay. That's fine. Minnesota is a favorite now because AR-15 is. It's because the Jets lost last week. Jets lost and they won another game, and the Minnesota Vikings are undefeated still. That's why it's that way. Under 8. I could see the under 8 in the first game. Who did the Yankees play?
They will get the winner of Baltimore and Kansas City. And the Guardians will get the winner of Houston and Detroit.
A doubleheader is not. Yeah. The thing is, I got to work today. I'm going to find a way to put my hoodie on, put a headphone in, stand in the cooler all day so that nobody questions my hoodie, and go from there. Kramer would pitch you. Waka, waka, waka. Yanks play the worst wild card. No, Yanks play the winner of Baltimore and Kansas City.
I don't think it gets reseeded, does it?
No, it does not. I'm not running to fade Bobby Witt Jr. I don't blame you. Oh shit. Let's jump. Oh, let's talk baseball first.
Let's talk baseball
this game's
first?
at 1:00.
Okay, that is totally fair. Let's do this. Boom. All right. The Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets. Game 161. We have a doubleheader tonight, and it's pretty simple. Either team, you win, you're in today. Don't get swept. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. It opened up with the Braves as minus 155 favorites. It's down to a 142. So we have a 13-cent line movement here towards the New York Mets. Line opened up at a 7.5 and minus 110. It's now a 7.5 and minus 108. We have 85% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the Atlanta Braves. The lines move towards the Mets. And looking at the cash flow in this game for the total, 76% of the tickets, 74% of the cash on the over. The line moving slightly 2 cents towards the under. Tyler McGill taking on Spencer Schwellenbach. McGill, the last 30 days, has been awesome. 1.78 ERA, a .99 whip, 9.95 strikeouts per nine, which is 27%, 2.84 walks per nine, a 262 BABIP, a 202 FIP, and a 3.54 SIERA. On the flip side, Spencer Schwellenbach, a 2.73 ERA, a 1.08 whip, 6.07 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 2.56 walks per nine, a 218 BABIP, a 4.54 FIP, a 4.18 FIP, and a 4.54 SIERA. The bullpen edge going to the New York Mets. Nope, it goes slightly towards the Atlanta Braves. It's a toss-up, though. Hitting edge? None. Absolutely no hitting edge. Both teams are 93 WRC plus versus right-handed pitching the last 30 days. And the ultimate big question mark for me in this game, Tim, and it was mentioned earlier, I think this is a terrible decision by the Atlanta Braves to go back to Spencer Schwellenbach. I get it. He's pitched well against the Mets. He's faced the Mets twice this year, and he's shut them down both times. But they just saw him 6 days ago, and they saw 7 innings worth of him 7 days ago, or 6 days ago. And he's a rookie. This is the biggest start he's going to make this season, other than when/if the Braves get into the playoffs. He's probably is he your game 3 starter?
Probably.
So he'd most likely pitch game 3 in San Diego if the Braves were to make the playoffs, because they're in 0 situations the Braves will play the Brewers. The Braves are either playing the Padres tomorrow or they're going home. Those are the only 2 options for them. You split against the Mets, you go to San Diego. You sweep the Mets, you go to San Diego. You get swept, you go home. The Diamondbacks can only play the Brewers. The Mets can play either. The Mets, they sweep this series, they go to San Diego. The Mets, they split this series, they go to Milwaukee. They lose both, they go home. I'm on the New York Mets here at plus 123 for game 1. With full intentions, if the Mets win game 1, to bet the Atlanta Braves in game 2.
Yep.
At a reasonable price. I'm not going to lay a stupid run line.
I'll lay a
run
run
line.
Anything
like that. And here's the thing. I'm honestly tempted to not bet game 2 whatsoever if the Mets do win game 1, because I want this number to end at 40 and call it a season, really, is what I want to do. I want that game to mean nothing to me later. I'm on the New York Mets at plus 123 in this game. Is it a homer play? No. I'd be on the Mets regardless. Everything correlates here for the Mets, for me. We have the Mets seeing Schwellenbach for a second time in 6 days. McGill's numbers, current form, have been better than Schwellenbach. The bullpens are a toss-up. The hitting is a toss-up. The market's moving towards the Mets. The public's on the Braves. Everything correlates for me to take a shot with the Mets here at plus 20. This is not a homer play. I want to emphasize that big time, because if the markets were reversed, I'd be on the Braves in this spot. If the Braves were a dog and everything's moving in the direction of the Braves and the public on the Mets and everything like that, I would be on the Braves in this game. I'm on the New York Mets. I got them at plus 123. What do you like for this one?
I do think that the series gets split. And the way I see it, I want the plus money in game 1. And if it means I'm end up taking the Mets in game 2 again, if it's run line or whatever it may be, fine. Or if I have to take the Braves game 2 on a run line, fine. I have full intentions of betting the loser of game 1 and game 2. I'm just going to take plus money in game 1. I could have went Atlanta run line in game 1, but I feel like the pitching advantage is with the Mets in this one. Although Schwellenbach has looked great this year, I'm not going to take that away from him. For somebody who didn't start pitching until his senior year of being at Nebraska.
He was an infielder for Nebraska, right?
Yep. And then all of a sudden picking it up, he's looked great. I would have to go towards – I'm going to take the plus money with the Mets in game 1 and then see where game 2 takes me. Uh, 23 comments. Woof. Twins, what's good? Braves and Mets. Hey, Justin, can we split today and discuss our differences in the playoffs, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Bobby Witt has been Bobby shit. Mets. Harris over bases. Lindor homer. Alonso homer. Braves run line, bye-bye Mets. No, it's going to – it could easily split, and it should split. I got Bach under 6.5 strikeouts. Ozuna and Alvarez hit in the under 8.5.
Woo.
Threading the needle. I like it. I'm not going to talk you off of that.
I don't think it's threading the needle much, but yeah.
Over the 7.5 in game 1. Mets sweep. No. Braves sweep? No.
I don't see a sweep either way.
Lindor does not look in full form. I liked his stolen base yesterday,
Does
and
not
that
look in
was
full
about it.
form. He had 2 stolen bases yesterday and a home run.
Oh, he still doesn't look 100%.
No, he was crawling, but yeah.
Ramon, breaking NBA legend Dike Mutombo dies from brain cancer, age 58.
Oh, wow.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah, RIP Mutombo. I have to look up that a little bit more. I'm okay with the Braves sweep. That's the only way I'm happy if they win. No, I'm not okay with the Braves sweep. Rip Mutombo. Will the books even allow you to bet game 2 with the number be minus 2,000 for the losing team? No. And the only
I
reason
wonder.
is I could see if the Braves win game 1, could you see them not starting any starters? Can you see them not sitting any starters and trying to knock the Mets out? That
It
seems
would
like
be if they would do that. That would be just petty because they want the Mets eliminated. But from a baseball perspective, you would have to be stupid to not rest starters if you win game 1 of the doubleheader.
Especially if they know they have to travel across the country.
Yes, especially knowing you have to travel and play tomorrow. Yeah, no, there's no chance. If I'm a manager of the winning team game 1, you pop the champagne in between games. If the Mets win game 1, Alonso enjoy game 2 off. Lindor enjoy game 2 off. Nimmo enjoy game 2 off. Like all your top guys enjoy the game off and relax. If the Braves win, well, Matt Olson is probably going to play because he has that Iron Man streak. But I mean, Marcelo Ozuna, enjoy your day off or your game off, and Michael Harris, enjoy your game off, and all your top guys enjoy your game off, and be ready for the playoffs tomorrow.
Under first 5, I could see that.
I would lean that way.
I'm on the under 7.5. Already a New York team in the playoffs. Don't need 2. I disagree. I think 2 New York teams, 2 big market teams in the playoffs would be great for ratings. But I know you just don't like the Mets, so that's fine. Under 7.5. I think the total can go either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, morning, gentlemen. Nimmo hit, Vientos hit. Down for it. Braves might use Swollenbach and Sale in game 1. You never know. I disagree.
I don't
highly disagree. And the only reason why I say that is there is zero reason for them to use Chris Sale in game 1.
Yes, because at the very least, if you really feel the need, you need Chris Sale in game 1, punt it and pitch Chris Sale in game 2. If you feel if Schwellenbach is that bad where you need Sale in game 1, you got problems.
Yep. If Sale has to come into game 1, the Braves are already down big. That's the way I see it. Or Schwellenbach gets injured, but Sale won't be available that quickly. Nerfy. We can absolutely split today, work out our differences in October. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
What if you can get Braves game 1 -1 at -104? It would be run line or nothing. Lindor 2+ hits. I like it. Money line on Moneyline dog. A split on Moneyline dogs for the NFL, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Washington. There you go.
Washington looks good. I did not expect him to look that good this year.
No, I don't know what we're saying no to. I actually can see split. Whoever wins the first game isn't going to put all their eggs into the basket for game 2 with the wild card game on deck, especially if the Braves win game 1 because they have to travel across the country. That's my point. Because the last thing you want to do is exhaust your players for game 1, fine, because you need to make it into the playoffs still. Game 2, if you guys have already clinched, is very, very unnecessary.
Yep.
So, scored a never in doubt same game parlay. Henry 2 touchdowns and the under. Ravens money line boosted.
That's a threading of the needle. Damn.
It's not worth trying to win game 1 and everyone sits. Exactly.
Especially if you're Atlanta. If you win game 1 and you're Atlanta, you're playing the Padres regardless. It does nothing to your seeding. The only thing is if the Mets win game 1, Game 2, they got to decide whether or not they want to travel to San Diego or play Milwaukee. And that's whether or not they want to try Game 2. The Mets are the only team of the two teams where if they win Game 1, have anything to play for in Game 2. And that's who they want to play in the wild card round. Which, I don't know about you, but I'd rather travel to Milwaukee than San Diego on no days rest.
And I know we've struggled against I know the Mets have struggled against San Diego. I'm sorry, against Milwaukee.
No, they've played. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I know they've struggled against Milwaukee, but if we play San Diego, you're starting down 1-0.
Yes.
In that series, just because of and I think the same way with who do you call it? I think if the Braves end up getting in there, they start down 1-0 against the Padres. So,
especially if they lose Game 1 and have to use Sale for Game 2.
Wait,
if you're the Mets, you definitely want to see Sale pitch tonight.
Markel, we need to see. I have nothing for the second game. We need to see what happens Game 1. Because I don't think we could really make any judgments until we know what happens in Game 1. I'm guessing this is 446. Because this definitely seems like a 446 name. Not gonna read the comment. You guys can read it. He's being a little bit stupid. To the passing off, I could spell his name. That's what I was saying. No. Oh, Mutombo. Yeah. Thanks, Monty Markel. They're definitely not going to use Sale in Game 1. They have the third bullpen. Yeah, they don't need to use Sale in Game 1. Despite desperate times calls for desperate measures, it's the game. If the game is tied in the 5th, I can see them using another starter. Yeah, not Sale. I don't see them using Sale. I think their bullpen is fine enough to do. These teams don't like each other. Why would they not want to sweep? Mets don't want to go to San Diego.
There's no point.
Because there's no point. Mets don't want to go to San Diego, and the Braves would head to San Diego, so there would be like no point in them trying to start all their guys Game 2, get them all exhausted, or possibly you never know, get somebody hurt right in a game that does not matter. I don't think the Braves care about knocking out the Mets. I don't think the Mets care about knocking out the Braves.
Because
going into today, I think
both teams
going, let's win one and work out whatever in the playoffs.
Because if you're really that petty, like if you're the Mets wanting Atlanta gone, if you're the Atlanta wanting the Mets gone, honestly, I don't really see either of these teams making it past the wild card round though.
That ain't 446. That's got to be 446. All right, Nick. We've talked about baseball. We talked about one game for a while. Let's head over to the NFL.
Yeah, let's get into it here. The Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins minus 2.5 for this game. Total of 37 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. Line opened up. Look ahead line was -2. It opened up on Monday at a pick'em. It's now about minus 2.5. Line opened up. Look ahead was 39.5 on the 21st. It reopened up on Monday at a 37. It's still a 37. So no line movement on the total. 86% of the tickets, 77% of cash on the over. Line not moving. Kind of makes the under a little bit of appealing in this game. Then we have 50% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the Dolphins. With the line moving towards the Dolphins in this game. And yes, I get the ultimate thing that it looks like Tyler Huntley will be starting this game for the Miami Dolphins. I kind of like that. And I know this is going to sound weird. Who would you rather have, Tyler Huntley or Will Levis? Right? I'm on the Miami Dolphins in this game. I got 2.5 last night. Yes, I got the worst of the number, but I wanted to watch this market mature, and anything less than a field goal, I'm fine with the Dolphins here. When you look at this Miami team, they're coming in off of a loss in their last game. Both these teams are. The Tennessee Titans, I think, could be the worst team in football this year. They are 0-3 straight up NATS so far this season. And And they're not a team I had any expectations on. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the South. I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in football. They started off the year with a 24-17 loss against the Chicago Bears. They led that game 17-0 at one point. That was so much fun because I had the Titans in that game. They followed that up with a 24-17 loss against the New York Jets as 4-point dogs. And then they were favorites against the Green Bay Packers, and they lost that game outright. And on the flip side, Miami, they've lost back-to-back games now since obviously they lost Tua on that Thursday night game against the Buffalo Bills. They lost last week 24-3 against Seattle with Skylar Thompson, who shouldn't be even a backup in the NFL, I think, anymore. And for me, I think this line movement's indicative of what they expect here. And I feel like you can fade the Titans with great success this year. I think this is going to be a team that's a bet against team for me, the Tennessee Titans, and I'm going to do that here in this spot. I'm on the Dolphins. Laid the 2.5 with them. I got -120.
Good luck. I chose not to do a side for this game. I chose to do a total. And I'm going to take the over. And I could easily see this game being 21-17 at one point. That's the kind of way I view it. This is just a spot where I think the Dolphins have enough weapons on offense where it doesn't matter who their quarterback is. They'll score some points.
Yes.
On the
I
flip
think
side,
something can look good with the offense that they have.
On the flip side, I think Miami's defense is rough. And I think Miami's defense lets up a bunch. I just think that 37 is way too low of a total. I took the over in this game. I could easily see this game being 20-20 at one point.
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah. This game is the worst primetime matchup ever. Give me the under.
I think we've seen worse.
He didn't bring up his favorite player and MVP candidate, Lindor. It still can be him. Both quarterbacks will throw an interception. That would help my over.
Yeah,
it could. Impact field positioning. Titans money line. Dolphins about to start tanking for a quarterback.
I don't know if the Titans can beat a tanking team right now.
Dolphins money line. Detroit money line. Parlay it up at plus 190, 145.
I 100% agree with this. I'm on both favorites today, and you know how I feel about favorites.
I like the over, yes. I don't understand why teams rested Judge yesterday and the Dodgers used nobody. You have a week off. Because the game
did not matter.
So there's no point in starting their starters. Dolphins can't try to tank again. That worked out so well last time, allegedly. It did not.
Yeah,
Pick'em is telling me something under and the Dolphins. I like the over. Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown. I like it. I'm from Tennessee, and this is a Titans spot. If anybody want to bet $20, the Jags will be the only team winless after tonight. I am not going to take your bet, and it's only because I'm choosing not to go after a side.
I've already bet my bookie. I don't need to bet other stuff.
Vegas know exactly what they're doing. I'm with you, brother. Texas State -14, Houston +17 lean under, but it's TCU no defense, while Cougars have no offense. I like your Texas State play. I didn't really look at the other one. This is a divisional game. No, it's not. Neither of these are divisional games. Pollard 70+, Devin 70+. I don't really do player props, so good luck. I'm leaning Aiken and Pollard rushing props, leaning the under. I'm live betting the total based on what I see. And then, Waddle over 36.5 receiving yards. Go for it. How about the second, Nick?
Yeah, we have the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. If I'm watching a game tonight in the NFL, this would be the one. We have the Detroit Lions as 4-point favorites, total of 47.5. Look ahead line was 4.5. Opening line was 4. And it's bouncing back and forth between 4, 3.5, and 4.5 all week long. And the line really hasn't moved. 54% of tickets and 66% of the cash is on the Lions. So it's not like it's an overly public play with the line not moving. I mean, it's a pretty split. Slightly more money on Detroit. And then as for the cash flow, 62% of the tickets and 68% of the cash is on the over. The line's moved down a half a point. It opened up 47. It's down to a 46.5. I know a lot of people are going to like the over in this game because when you look at the way these two teams play against each other, it's been points, and more points the last few times that they've played each other. Head-to-head, 37-31, 48-45, 51-29, 28-14, 26-6, and then, yeah. But, like, we've seen the total go over 3 in a row, and the Seahawks put up at least 28 points and 26 points in 5 straight games against the Detroit Lions. This is a different Detroit Lions defense, though. This is a much better Detroit Lions defense than we've seen in previous years. And I think we can make the argument that at the end of the year, we can talk about the Detroit Lions having one of the best defenses in all of football. I am that high on this Detroit Lions team. And here's the crazy thing. The Detroit Lions are 2-1 this year, and we haven't even seen their best game yet. They squeaked out an overtime win against the LA Rams in week 1. They lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 2. And they escaped with a 20-13 win over the Arizona Cardinals last week. I don't think we've seen the best game for the Detroit Lions yet. I think we could see that tonight. I think we could see a dominating performance here. And on the flip side here, we look at the Seattle Seahawks, Tim. They are 3-0 this season. They're awesome, right? Week 1, they beat the Denver Broncos 26-20. It was Bo Nix's first road game, and he looked okay. They scored a backdoor touchdown at the end of the backdoor cover that game, 26-20. Maybe it was a little flattering. They followed that up with a 23-20 win in overtime against the New England Patriots. They followed that up with a 24-3 win over the Miami Dolphins with no Tua. So we've seen a very easy schedule for the Seattle Seahawks so far, which makes me kind of like Niners futures for the division, because I do think that the Niners still win this division, and I'm not a believer in the Seattle Seahawks. And if they weren't 3-0 right now, and if the Lions were playing up to their potential, this line should be a touchdown, not a 4. I got in at -4 the Detroit Lions here in this spot.
I'm on the Lions. I know Seattle's undefeated, but I feel like this is kind of a similar spot. What was the other? Up to the game last night.
Bills.
Seattle undefeated. Detroit not undefeated. Detroit was a slight favorite, or Ravens, although the Ravens have looked rough. Although Detroit should honestly be.
Detroit's not looked the greatest either.
Detroit could easily be 1-2 as well right now. So
yeah, they could easily be 0-3.
I don't know about that, but I like Detroit in this matchup. I know everybody's going to see a undefeated team at plus money and want to go after it. Look how that worked out for you last night. I think at the end of the day, and as much as it sucks, the only undefeated team left would be the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Oh, Minnesota. I forgot about them. But we're going to have 2 undefeated teams left after this week. Give me the Lions -4.
Yep.
Lions, yes. Jameson Williams over 11.5 fantasy points. Go for it. I had been talking. I talked into Seattle. History has Detroit crushing them, and that is the line where it's at. Seattle has a whole different new defense unit. Goff struggles against this style.
Also, all those wins for the Seattle Seahawks against the Detroit Lions, all that history was with Pete Carroll.
Okay.
Not McDonald.
Seahawks money line. Lions are frauds. Goff is washed.
I disagree with the Lions are frauds. I think they could be the best team in football.
Would it be wrong to say Tennessee Miami goes over while Seattle Detroit goes under? No, not at all.
I kind of like the under in this Detroit game. I think that the Detroit defense will be able to shut down Geno in the offense.
Lions and Montgomery and St. Brown anytime touchdowns. Seattle defense has some problems.
Yes, they do.
Injuries, yes. St. Brown over 74.5 rushing yards, or receiving yards. Yes. What did Nick say about the over? We kind of lean the over. Oh, no, sorry. Over in the Miami game. Lean
Over
towards
in
the
the
under.
Miami game. It's been a heavy history of overs, though, with the Dolphins and the not the Dolphins, the Lions and the Seahawks. It's been a heavy history of overs.
Yeah. Mets choke throats are going to get swept. Worry about your Yankees. Aiden Dury runs a system that Detroit struggles against. Remember Detroit versus Cowboys last year. Yes. I'm on the under 47. I could see the under.
I kind of like that, yeah.
The porta potty. First touchdown. Go for it. Who's stopping Metcalf and Walker? I think you can. I think the Detroit defense can slow them down a little bit.
Detroit defense.
Jared Goff over 16.5 fantasy points.
Yeah, I like that.
And y'all sleeping on the Hawks. Lions will regress. All right,
I'm
we'll
not
come back
sleeping on
tomorrow.
the Hawks. I think the Hawks are overrated. They've played cupcakes the first 3 weeks. They played the Bo Nix's rookie debut game on the when Bo Nix was on the road. They beat the Patriots in overtime, and they beat the Dolphins without Tua. Where's an impressive win there? I'll wait.
There you go. Are the Orioles or Astros going to sweep? I think the Orioles can.
I think both can go 3, but I think both the Astros and the Orioles advance. But I wouldn't lay $1.70 or $1.80 with the Orioles to win the series, though.
There you go. You're going to live stream the Mets game. No, I have to go into work at 12:30, so no, I can't.
And I have class at 2.
No, I'll have a headphone in listening to the game.
Yeah.
A win is a win. A win's a win.
Yes, it is.
Let's go put our CapperTeks in, although I'm pretty sure everybody can kind of figure out where we're at for today because it's a very, very small card. I have 3 plays. I'm on the Mets game 1. We'll see with game 2. We'll see what happens game 1. We'll go for it. The over in the Tennessee game and the Detroit Lions -4. Nick?
Yeah, I got the Mets game 1. I got the Dolphins -2.5, and I got the Lions -4. They have not. They played the Rams week 1. The Rams are a decent team. Okay, who's the tougher schedule? Ready? The Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Cardinals, or the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Tua-less Dolphins. What is a tougher schedule?
Good luck, guys. Today I'll be cheering on your Mets in game 1.
Me too.
Well, hopefully tomorrow we'll get to talk about the Mets again. Until then, good luck, guys. Let's fucking go Mets.